Hello YouTube, Komodo Gaming here, playing some more City Skylines. And yes folks, it has been a long time since we played this game. It's been about 2 months. I do apologize for the big break. I wasn't really sure where I wanted to take this series, what I wanted to do. But I've been getting a lot of requests to play it again, so I've been thinking of a plan, thinking of how I want to continue this. And I think it's actually time to do something that I talked about a whole lot. And that was going to be to start a downtown center here. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this series, I ran about 7 episodes, and I started this. I don't even think we came up with the name of this town, to be honest with you. I started this town, and it's just kind of gone through the process of building. You've got industrial lane over here, some farm areas back here, some neighborhoods kind of surrounding everything from Sheffield Square, Kent Hills, Coleridge Park up here, and Cozy District. And with our little bit of a downtown commercial area being right here in the center. Now, what we're going to do, I think it was the last episode I did, I had this turbine interchange put in, and I started to stretch highways out over here. This is where I want to start the bigger city. We're not going to call it like a huge city yet, but I want to see how this works. We've added this little, I guess you can call it an interchange, and it's got a roundabout at the bottom. Now, I used to complain about roundabouts, but I figured out ways to manipulate them that I think this is going to work. So we're going to start off small. We're going to start off kind of like grid patterned out this way. Let's go ahead and check and see. Oh, you know, I actually did start this. Let's see. Let's go ahead and add some water out here. Man, okay, my OCD is going to kick in. Right now we're actually making pretty good money, so I don't have to be exact with all my lines and my pipes here. It just looks pretty. Let's see, electrical connections. You know what? I think this is where I intended on running this line over, so let's go ahead and run this over. Now, I am playing with the new DLC, that is the natural disasters. And no, I have never experienced one in the game, so if it happens, I'm probably gonna panic. I do have them on. I'm not really sure. I was like, you know, do I want to really turn this on? But yeah, I figured, you know what? It's a part of the game now. It feels, I guess, like a natural part, so it needs to be in there. So we are playing with the disasters on. I know I believe there's certain buildings now. It's probably in like these little, nope, medical. Let's see, what's this? Medical laboratory. You know what? Some of these are actually new buildings that I've added with some other DLC besides the natural disasters. Looks like a fire helicopter depot, fire watchtower. Wow, fire station. What are these? Emergency shelters? Oh my. Alright, this is pretty cool. We're gonna have to take advantage of some of this stuff. But anyways, what we need to check here. I need to check what's going on power-wise. Okay, we've got quite a bit here. Now, we have a huge wind farm up here, and do I want to add to that, or do I want to finally add that solar power plant that I've been talking about? I think we're going to add that. I need to find a good spot. Probably out by the farms would make sense, and we're having a little bit of a crime issue out here. Let's see. You know, let's go ahead and power. We're going to run one right here, and one right here. So we're going to let that power up. That just jumped our grid up. And we'll add more. I'm going to try to go green. I know I've talked about this past episodes. I've really cleaned up our water supply. You can see all the treatment plants out here. So I'm going to continue to go in that direction. So that's why I've been doing solar and wind power sources. So we've got those. Let's go ahead and start gridding out here. Now, I need to be careful. When I think of big cities, I always think of grids. I know some people don't like seeing grid patterns. They like watching or like seeing a little bit more, I would say, beautiful looking roads where there's curves, winds. And I will do that in certain areas, but for the time being, to pack everybody in, we're going to do it like this. Now, let's see. We're going to keep them maybe 3 lanes. I think 3 lanes would be sufficient here. So let's start it back about right here. So we're going to start out. Let's go ahead. We're going to make just a perfect square and connect it back into the main road. And when I say perfect square, I don't mean sideways square. Come on. Let's go ahead. I need to run this little avenue, or actually it's not even an avenue, it's a 6 lane, isn't it? Let's go ahead and run this out to about right here. So we're going to do that. Let's go ahead and go back to our 3 lane, which I think is going to be enough. I could be wrong. Let's go ahead and run that back, and we're going to get everything going in one direction because I don't want to have a horrible traffic situation. So I'm going to grid these real quick. I'm going to be picky about these and make sure they're evenly spaced. And then we'll move on to trying to direct this where we need to. Okay, what I've done here. Now, I've gone ahead and I made this a one-way loop, basically. So they can only get into this neighborhood down here at this intersection, and they can only get out down at this intersection. Point being is to drag them out to this road and get them out as fast as possible. That way we don't have a bunch of cross traffic here. So I believe that's going to work. Let's go ahead and make sure. Okay, we're going to have to move the power just a little closer here. And then we will start. Got that, and they've got water. So we have a high demand for residential. So we're going to go high density. And let's go ahead and zone these all in right here. And then, you know, we're going to give them something nice here. It's a, obviously, we've got a new city center here. What is this? A biodome? Okay, that's kind of cool. We got a vertical farm. These are new buildings. I forgot what the DLC's name was. These are kind of cool. I feel like, you know, let's go ahead and stick one of these down. Let's stick down a biofarm. What does that even look like? That is actually really awesome looking. Alright, so I guess they can go buy fresh crops in the biofarm here. That ought to attract some people in this neighborhood. Now, fire protection, how are we? We're probably going to need it anyways down here. It's such a large area that we need probably fire and hospitals down here. So let's see. I kind of want to use one of the new buildings. What options do we have? We're making quite a bit of money here, so I can go with the big fire station and be fine. Let's stick them right here. That way they have quick access to the highways and they can go into the city. So we're going to stick them there, and we're going to stick we'll do a small police station, just stick it right there. So they ought to be fairly happy, and already they're just popping up like crazy. There was such a demand right now for residential. I'm getting a little bit of a tick of demand for industrial, and I know that's always kind of a sensitive spot here. I've got a decent bit of area I have to work with before we get to the farm areas, so I think we can expand on both. Let's go ahead and give the farms a little more area, see if they'll build some of those, because ultimately, you know, farms are going to be cleaner. It's cleaner energy, easier to deal with. It doesn't produce as much money, at least I don't think it does. But it's just overall, it's less of a pain. I don't think it catches on fire as much, less pollution, and all that good stuff. So they're going to build out into there. Another thing I was working on, and you can see I'm trying to get rid of, and it's so smoggy here, it's hard to see. I'm trying to get rid of these landfills, so we're going to try to eliminate those too, but it's getting dark. I don't like building typically at night, so I'm going to fast forward the time here, and we're going to watch this neighborhood fill up, and I'll see what I need to do next. Alright, I know I said I wasn't going to build at night, but I need to go ahead and put something in. We need another taxi depot. We have one in the main part, or in the little downtown part across the highway there, but we're going to need one out here, so I'm going to stick it right by the police station, and let's go ahead and get a stop over here by the, we'll put it by the biofarm. So that gives people an option if you do not want to take your vehicle, which obviously we need to eliminate traffic in the big city. Another thing, we need to get a bus line going to subway. A metro line would be nice. We're not quite big enough for a metro line, I don't believe. So we've got that. Now, the question is garbage. I'm pretty sure garbage is going to be an issue over here, too. I don't know how easily our trucks are getting over to this side. Let's see if we spot any around here. There's one. Where are you going? Obviously not to the big city. I don't wonder if maybe over in this area here, since we have industrial on that side, maybe we can get away with some sort of garbage system on this side, just really close to the highway. Let's see. What do we have here? We've got this main street. I can go ahead and drag another one. That's a 6-lane. Let's go ahead and drag another 6-lane over here. I believe that's going to be even. So we're going to drag you out basically all the way. Well, actually, I can't go out to the shore. We'll drag it out to here. So that's kind of future-proof. We'll be able to build on this side of the highway, which I don't want to do that quite yet, but I will go ahead and put something for trash, basically. So, I'm normally going to be building with 6-lane, or is this 4-lane? Let's go a little bit bigger. No, I guess maybe a 4-lane would actually be okay. We're going to just branch it off from here, and let's make sure we got a 90-degree angle here. There we go. I have access to electricity. I need water. Don't want to run it. Let's just run one pipe down from here. So get that, and we're going to hook on electricity-wise right here. So I'm going to create a... Do you want to do a small recycling? I guess that's all we can afford. Let's do a small recycling center. and hopefully that will kind of make any sort of garbage issue that might come up with this little neighborhood over here, hopefully it's non-existent. And hopefully they're smart enough to travel over here. I really wish you could set routes, and I don't know if there's a mod for it, but set routes for garbage, because I want them to just kind of stay over and watch this neighborhood, so. Alright, it is another beautiful morning here in the city. Now, let's see, what do we want to do next? I'm so tempted. I don't know how often disasters happen. I want to play with the new buildings, but I mean, we got an evacuation center. What's this? A tall radio mast. Let's see. It's emergency broadcast. You know what? That seems like that's important. Earthquake sensor. Oh, wow. And, wait, there's a tsunami? Do I have a big... I've got a little bit of a... I think that opens up to an ocean down there. Let's go ahead and put a one of these new radio towers. I feel like this is kind of in the way. I think it might belong maybe somewhere out here. This would make more sense. Let's see, how much radio coverage do we get with one of these? So let's stick it out here. And we're lighting up here. Let's see. Oh, whoa, okay. That's pretty good. Okay, so we can give them a warning. I mean, we're not necessarily going to do anything as far as protect them, but at least they'll know something bad's about to happen. So I've got that. That feels kind of good to have. Is there, I mean, I guess our early warnings would be like the earthquake sensor and tsunami warning sensor, but I don't think I need those quite yet. Now let's go ahead and continue here. We are making some progress actually, so we're going to go ahead and drag this out. Might add another grid. Just another pattern. I mean, they filled that up quick. That is amazing. Let's go ahead and go with another one-way. Now we can split. If we're going one way, we're looping around this way. So technically we would need to be down here. Now how big is this area here? Just out of curiosity, I'm going to build a little fake road here and just kind of drag. Let's see, that is 3. That's going to be 3 wide, so we would need to be, let's go ahead and go 3 back here, 3. So that's going to be an even grid. I'm really picky about these sometimes, and probably more than I should be, even though I just screwed that up right there. So let's go ahead and delete that. 90 degrees. There we go. That's straight. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to do the same thing. I still think we're going to force them out. Everybody's going to have to go out that last intersection. So we're going to keep that. I don't mind cross traffic as far as across these roads in here. That's not really a big deal. It's the trying to keep them from going onto the main road. You know, just to try it, we're going to stick one office zone right here and see if anything comes up. I'm really curious. Of course, is it covered? It's not even covered by... Oh, actually, you know, that'll be fun. Electricity-wise, it's covered by water. Okay, so we are good. So I'll see if they build anything there, and I can gauge. I don't see a demand, but you never know. But so far, so good right now. It seems like everything's working out as planned. Let's go ahead and check some more demands here. Seems like healthcare is doing plenty fine. A couple episodes, it might have been last episode, I built all these crematoriums. I remember somebody kind of complained that, yes, I do understand they're right by the industrial zone. That is a little odd, but they are technically kind of polluting. So kind of want to keep everything over there. Yeah, we got a nasty rain coming in. Let's go ahead and watch this fill up, and we'll see what else we need to add to the big city here. We'll start kind of planning and seeing where we need to start adjusting these grids. Alright, as you can see, it is still growing up quite nicely. They're starting to build buildings on this side, and we did have some offices come up. So that makes me think that there could be a little bit of demand, even though the bars are typically not showing it. This might make this whole area a little bit more attractive. Now, I am going to have to apologize to whoever's office building is right here, because I'm going to wind up demolishing it. I think we might, and I don't want to cram this intersection, we might do a reverse one way. So how we're spitting them out here, everybody that's coming into this side is going to enter in here. So let's do the, I think it's the 3, and then we're going to come out to this side and loop into here. So let's go ahead and check this, make sure it's a correct one way. So we're going to come into this side. It looks like, actually I think it is set. Come in, and we'll exit out here. Which, oh, I guess I was using a 4-lane there, wasn't I? What about right here? It's a 3-lane. At some point I switched into a 4-lane. Let's go ahead. Let's keep it uniform here. We're going to do a 3-lane right here. So let's go ahead and exit. There we go. Alright, here we go. We're going to try to fit some office areas in here. And now they're going to kind of want some incentive too. You know what? We actually... I think I'm going to take that back. I don't want that part zone. Just these front parts. I'm pretty sure they're going to need a little bit of incentive here. So we've got this new biodome. We've got a vertical farm. That's really actually awesome looking. What else do we have here? Tourism, we're not worried about that yet. We've got some plazas, we've got some parks. I've been building some really fancy parks over there, and I do eventually want to have a really big one here in the city. But I kind of want to put something temporary in here. Maybe we'll go with the new... Oh, these vertical farms actually look really cool. Do I want to spend the $60,000 on it? Let's hope that maybe this stretches far. This has got to have big influence. I mean, it is expensive. It looks a little bit out of place too, but we're going to do it. Let's go ahead and place that down. There we go. Oh, that looks awesome. I really don't understand it, but I mean, I guess, I don't even know if that's really a thing. Maybe it's not. Maybe it is. You would figure in maybe high density populated areas that it's really hard for them to get fresh produce without having to go to these little markets, and it's probably very expensive. So I guess I could see the actual use of one of these, but nonetheless, it's a nice looking building, and hopefully it'll overall increase our land value here as we continue to build out into the big city. Alright, it is early morning here in the city. Everything's actually going fantastic right now. I'm still watching the slow build up. We've already crammed another section of grid here. So I think before this episode's out, I want to add one more, and then we can kind of start shaping the land. I'm going to go ahead and look at some Google Earth images and just see how some cities are shaped. I have a major city near me, Dallas. A lot of you know I'm from Texas, and it's really, I was looking at Google images on it, and it's really grid-like in most areas, but it does eventually start to branch out where they have some parks, there's a museum there. So I would like to replicate some of that. I just have to really be sure about what I'm doing. Yeah, we're going to spit them out still in the same intersection. So 3 across starts here. So let's go ahead and... Yeah, we're going to do this. One more grid. And I don't know why that didn't go far enough. Okay, there we go. That's across there. Cut off the excess. And then we're going to go ahead and allow these cross streets like we've been doing. But these are perfect. I love that. Okay, we have a large emergency shelter here. It's 74,000. How many does that hold? 10,000. Well, that's about 33% of our city. That's bad. I'm going to go ahead and place one of these. And I think it should probably be off the beaten path. Nobody wants to see an emergency shelter right outside their door. I mean, some people might actually feel safe like that, but I'm going to stick it over here by the recycling centers, and we can always move this. So let's stick it there. I'm going to watch the new thing pop up, and supposedly there's escape routes too. And is that something? Oh, there's so many buildings here. A deep space radar? What's that for? Oh, that's probably for meteors. Okay. And a weather radar. Weather radar seems like something we should also have. Tornadoes. I don't know if it depends on like how the environment is. Like I don't think we're in a tropical one here. I have to actually look at that again. I'm not really sure. Oh, and that's not even powered out there. But I feel like we need to keep an eye on that. So let's go ahead and run this weather radar over here. Well, let's go ahead and power this. It's a little embarrassing that wasn't powered. So those are all powered up. We have a little bit of coverage now, so I feel a little bit better about our plan for natural disasters, and we're starting to pile up trash here. Come on, people. We got 2 recycling centers. What are we doing? Need to follow one of these trucks. I'm afraid these trucks are jumping on the highway and going to the other side. I really hope they just go on the roundabout and... Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm seeing trucks go back and forth. Maybe it's still that capacity thing. We might have to add even more. I'm not 100% sure. Alright, I made a bit of a mistake here, honest mistake. I accidentally added commercial back here, which I started seeing these small buildings. I was like, where's my offices at? And that's what the problem was. I guess it's been so long since I've played. There's a little bit of a mistake there. It's kind of embarrassing, but we do have the zoned right now, so hopefully they'll start popping up with some offices. It makes me think that maybe we should give them a little bit of low-density commercial, maybe across the street here. That way people don't have to travel on the other side to get to their little restaurants and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and pop that up here. And that should be good. And yeah, here come the office buildings. That's a lot better. Okay, we're going to make our first little project here in the big city. What it's going to be, let's go ahead and add this. I've downloaded new buildings, or actually this was DLC buildings. There's some really high-tech things in the game now. You've got stuff from, there's a robotics institute, there's an electric car factory, this is a research center. I feel like these would actually do really good in the big city here. So we're going to start off with the Robotics Institute, and I've created a little road here, which is going to be like their own little area. There's not going to be any more major buildings. I'll probably put maybe a park around here and try to make it look a little bit prettier, but I really think it will fit here in this area. So let's go ahead. We'll start off. These are all really expensive, by the way. I'm just kind of looking at these. Software development studios. That's high-tech industry here. That's stuff we need. A television station. Let's start off. This is a big investment, but I believe this is going to make this area boom. So how big is the software studio? Oh, of course, it fits perfect. So we're going to stick that right here. And then we're going to build up around that. And look, land values, everything's happy. Everybody's happy. I mean, that's a really good building to have. So I'm going to... Actually, I like this center looking like a plain green area. And I think we can kind of build around it. Apparently, we don't have electricity. We're going to make a temporary line real quick. Actually, is that where they can build? You know what? Let's connect to this side really quick. Let's make that. It should be a connection. Let's see. Come on. I know it's right on edge. There it goes. Okay. So we've got that. I might put some stuff on either side. I kind of do what we did with the university and build up around this area. Now, another thing I think would be really good for this area. I'm trying to remember where they actually are. I believe there is a small airport hangar. That's actually really tempting too. So I believe there is a small car garage. I need to find it real quick. All right, it's the big city. What is a big city without some sort of parking? These things are... I worked in Dallas for a little bit in downtown, and it is a nightmare. So we're gonna put a huge parking garage. I feel like they need to be closer to the actual commercial or the office buildings. Maybe right here across the street. That would probably make sense. Let's go ahead and stick that there, and boom. That ought to help this whole area. Hopefully alleviate some parking, but that looks good. This whole area looks good, actually. Alright, well, we're probably going to wrap it up there, guys. One last thing I'm going to do. Let's go ahead and district this area out. I don't have a name for it. If you guys want to come up with something in the comment section, go right ahead. It came out with Belmont Square. I just want to have this all in a district here, and we can work on it and put some policies in place real quick. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode here today. I do appreciate you guys wanting this series back, and I am actually really happy about bringing it back. So hopefully you enjoyed the episode here today. If you like the series and you want to see more, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Anyways, guys, we will see you next time in City Skylines. Thank you.